So it is finally time to re-up on my shower products. A lot of these are pretty.
It just keeps going. Oh my goodness. Why are we taking a plastic water bottle, opening it, pouring it into a glass jar, and then tossing the plastic water bottle out into the trash? Oh, wait, how could I forget? I almost forgot to include the junk drawer restock. Yep, today we are going to be talking about restocking videos on social media. There is a current trend going around where influencers stock their pantries, their cabinets, their makeup drawers with various items, and the focus is supposed to be on organization and aesthetics. And I get it, like, it can be so relaxing to watch someone do the most human, mundane things like restocking their pantry after a grocery haul trip. The problem with some of these videos is glaring overconsumption. Influencers take these perfectly good items and move them into aesthetically pleasing containers simply for content. This trend has gained a lot of attraction because of its ASMR type content, its visual appeal, and the fact that it's satisfying to watch. But it's borderline a problem when we glamorize having this much stuff and moving things from perfectly good containers into aesthetically pleasing jars. And it's almost like a flex to have all this stuff, which it's really not a flex. This is not normal. Most people do not live like this. So since these restock videos have really blown up, of course people have capitalized on this and started to restock all sorts of things. There's fridge restocks, pantry restocks, Stanley cup restocks, purse restocks, shower restocks, ice drawer restocks. It really doesn't end. So we're going to look at some videos today just so I can show you what exactly I'm talking about if you've never heard of these restocking videos. And so we can point out some of the issues that I'm seeing in some of these videos and some of the messages that they are subconsciously sending to people. Starting with some food restocks, some of these are actually insane. Oh my God, who needs that many eggs? And then there's so many egg whites. Like, clearly she just did a Costco run because it's a Kirkland brand, but eggs and egg whites, like, how is she going to eat all that before it goes bad? That was so much yogurt too. That was like 6 giant big containers of yogurt. And just the eggs and the egg whites, like, what? Also, the use of these like aluminum cans and these small like single serving things really bothers me. Like, you're at home, can't you buy like a gallon coconut water and then pour a glass every time? And yes, this is really aesthetic, but where are you going to put all the food that you cook? Where are you going to put your leftovers and that sort of thing? This just isn't realistic for the average person. This one says $4,000 weekly restock. Oh my God, so many single use containers again. This egg thing is so unnecessary. And why are we taking meats out of their packages and putting them in these acrylic bins? Like, how do you know when they expire? And then taking these bottled juices out of their original plastic containers and putting them into glass containers is so maddening to watch. What is the point? The funny thing to me too is this glass jar doesn't even fit the entire juice bottle. So where are you going to put the original juice bottle that's got like just this much juice left? Do you have multiple fridges, or what's the solution to that? Because we're not seeing that part. Again, with like the single serving yogurts and the single serving drinks, like if you have kids that you need to send to school with lunch, maybe I get that. But for the average person to just have a million of these in these fridge is so wasteful. This fridge looks beautiful, but what happens if you need to cook dinner and you have nowhere to put your leftovers? Or if somebody comes over and they bring some food and they need to put it in your fridge and you're like, oh, there's no space, everything's stacked perfectly in there. Like, no one's fridge looks like this. I bet these influencers' fridges don't even look like this. They just look like this for the video, and then they get their content and they go back to being a normal person.
Restock $1,000 worth of grocery with us. Ryan starts by steam cleaning the fridge while I rinse the produce. The most common question we get is, how often do we grocery shop? We do one big grocery haul a month, and we may go back once or twice for dairy and produce, but this stuff generally lasts us all month. Another question we get asked is, if we take things out of their packaging, how do we know when they expire? So I made a whole video dedicated to this question, as well as where do we store our leftovers. I just got this pickle container and I'm already obsessed. No more having to fish pickles out of the juice, and it can also be used for olives. And as always, all the containers I'm using came from Amazon, and they can be found by clicking the link on my profile. If you've watched any of my previous restocks, then you'll know that I swear by this egg one. It is my absolute favorite. Next, I add the kids' juice boxes and snacks into these pull-out trays that save us a ton of space in the fridge. Then I start adding all the drinks into the dispenser. They come out just as they would at a grocery store. I have these drawers for produce and all the condiments are on a Lazy Susan. Then this is just me showing you how everything works and how quick and easy it is to access everything. Then here are both doors to the refrigerator as well as our freezer. Make sure you come back to see how we restock the pantry.
Yeah, how do you know when things expire if you take them out of their original packaging? Like, what is the point of doing that? You're just making your life harder. The other thing, too, is she was washing all of her produce already, like the apples, the strawberries, the spinach. And when you do that, things actually go bad faster because the water that's left on the surface of the fruit ends up making it go rotten. So it's better to just not wash it and only wash it right before you're going to eat it. And this is all a money grab. She says it herself in the video. All of these acrylic bins are linked in my Amazon storefront. So it's really just encouraging her viewers to buy these products and to overconsume. Gosh, and seeing again all those single-use drinks like the tiny little waters, all the Gatorades, all the juices, like it really makes me nauseous how much waste this is creating. Why can't we just drink out of the tap or get a Brita filter instead? Like I get it if you're on the go, yes, maybe, but at the same time, reusable water bottles exist. Why can't you use one of those? But just for an average day at home, this kind of single-use stuff is so unnecessary and so wasteful. Alrighty, let's watch her restock the pantry now.
Warning, if you're someone who gets upset about what strangers on the internet eat, exit this video immediately. I feel like most people's problem is they envision me, my husband, and our kids just standing in the pantry, letting candy water fall into our mouth all day, which is so far from the truth. My kids are allowed one snack after dinner and chores, and sometimes they pass on a snack altogether. So those of you who say this will only last a day or two in your home, it's because your household is operating off of a scarcity mindset. If you go from always having a little to all of a sudden having a lot, it will be consumed quickly because no one knows when it will be a lot again. Well, we're blessed to always have a lot, so everyone is used to it always being here. My kids also have tutors over every day who are always welcome to have snacks, as well as our housekeeper, the groundskeeper, the mobile detailer, literally everyone. We even set up a basket outside for the delivery people because we all know I'm addicted to Amazon. By the way, that's where all these containers came from, and they can all be found in my storefront.
Gosh, that is so much candy. I know that if I was a kid, I would be eating all of that with no self-control. I feel like when it's available and accessible like this, it's just so much easier to consume. This is not normal in any way. Most people don't have candy dispensers with multiple different types of candies, multiple different types of snacks. All of this is so processed and so unhealthy. I know I'm judging right now, but this would have been bad for me if I was a kid.
Let's restock my pantries. First up are the candy dispensers. The candy in them is still good. My kids are just tired of it, so I'm taking what's left to my nieces and nephews. The new candy they picked to replace it with are these Nerds gummy clusters and some mini M&Ms. All the containers I'll be using can be found in my Amazon storefront. Up next are candy bars and then some donuts and cakes on Lazy Susans. This package from Takis came right in time for my restock. They recently launched a new flavor called Buck and Ranch, and I couldn't resist trying them right away. I like to organize larger bags of chips and boxed items in these baskets. These cookie jars are a new find, and I'm in love with how fresh they keep whatever you put in them. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for the snack choices, but it's fine because social media isn't a real place. TikToker Nara Smith makes everything she gives her kids from scratch, even cereal, and everyone in her comments complains about how long it takes and makes jokes that her kids are starving while they're waiting on her to prepare these things that she could have bought from the store. Meanwhile, those same people leave her video to come to mine to tell me that I'm going to give my kids diabetes for doing exactly what they just suggested to her. You cannot win on the internet, and that's why I don't even try. I just laugh and keep it moving. But back to this restock. I only needed to refill 2 of my jars, and then it was time to put everything into my second pantry. The 2 closed doors at the bottom I just used for overstock, and that's it. Here's the finished results. Bye!
I mean, I do see a little bit of real food here. There's some pasta sauce, there's some like canned vegetables, and we did watch her fridge restock and they did have at least some real food in there, but there is just so much processed food. And she contrasts herself to Nara Smith. Nara Smith creates all of her food from scratch for her kids. Like it's all very over the top. But this I would say is like the other extreme. This is like buying everything and not really making anything from scratch and buying a lot of processed junk as well. but I think there's got to be a balance, right? Like Nara Smith is one extreme, this lady is one extreme. How about we meet somewhere in the middle where we buy more whole foods and we create our own recipes from those? Of course, we're going to be needing frozen foods and convenience foods sometimes. We all get busy, but this level is like the opposite extreme of Nara Smith, I would say. And again, like taking this food, these cookies, right from their original packaging and putting them into a clear glass jar is so weird to me. Are they even airtight? Like, do those jars even keep the food fresh? Same with the cereal. Like, what's wrong with eating the cereal right out of the cereal box? For things like flour and baked goods that you don't use that often, I can kind of understand because flour comes in these like paper sacks that just spill everywhere. So I kind of get baked goods and spices and things like that. But for everyday items that come in a container already, it's just so much extra work and it's wasteful. So another thing that's become popularized has been making these like snack box restocks. So we're going to watch some of those right now.
I'm usually the person that lives life with no regrets. If it happened, it happened. It is what it is. And I love my kids with everything in me. But I did have 4 of my kids by the time I was 8. Since I was a really young mom with 4 kids, there were a lot of things that I did not get to do for them when they were really young. But once I got my ish together, I always went the extra mile for them. And one of the small things that I like doing is restocking their little snackle box with the candies for whatever holiday it is. But baby, when I made that Valentine's Day candy box, I blinked and it was all gone. Between them 6 kids and my husband, I barely got anything for myself. I don't know if it's because I put all of their favorite candies in there or what, but this time all the overflow of candy, I'm saving for myself. I'm really only expecting this candy to last about a week, if that. So it'll probably stay empty until the next holiday. Or I could always refill it with some more healthier options. It'll probably last much longer then. Love me some Sour Patch Kids and some All Red Starburst. Let me know what's your favorite in the comments.
This is so much candy. That was 8 bags of candy. Most people, when they buy candy, they buy 1 bag as a treat. Please do not go out and buy these acrylic containers and 8 bags of candy and do this because it is definitely not something that you need to do and it's not normal. There's also candy drawer restocks that are pastel edition. Of course, these acrylic bins are going to be in her Amazon storefront. And of course, there's going to be like 20 bags of candy again. Like, yes, it's cutesy, it's aesthetic, it's ASMR, but that's all it is. It's just content, so remember that. There goes the juice again. That doesn't completely fit in the container once again. And you can see here, we'll link containers on my Amazon. So, you know, she wants to sell these containers like all of these restock influencers want to do. Again, taking things out of their original packaging with the expiration date and putting them into acrylic containers. Same with the bacon, that just doesn't really seem hygienic. Oh my goodness. Why are we taking a plastic water bottle, opening it, pouring it into a glass jar, and then tossing the plastic water bottle out into the trash or the recycling, hopefully? Like at that point, please get a Brita filter or something. That's so wasteful to be filling glass jars with a plastic bottle of water. That's defeating the whole purpose of the glass jar. The purpose of those glass containers is for filling from your Brita filter, or if you're making a homemade tea or lemonade, to have something to put it in. They're not meant for you to crack open a plastic water bottle just to pour it in the glass container to make it look more aesthetic. That is just so backwards. And there's no space for leftover foods or anything that you've cooked. And if you put one other random item in there, it's going to ruin the entire aesthetic of the fridge. This is just so unrealistic. Alrighty, so continuing with the theme of fridge and kitchen restocks, there's also something called an ice drawer restock. Yep, the internet never ceases to amaze me with the things that people will do for content. So let's watch some of these ice drawer videos. And these videos have millions of views. This one in particular has 54 million views. Oh my God. It just keeps going. Her fridge is huge. What the heck? Most people do not have a fridge that big. That looks like a chef's fridge or something. She's got strawberry, kiwi, and cucumber and lime. Mini ice spheres. There's a bunch of fruit and vegetables in some of these ice cubes. Like, they are gourmet ice. She's got stars, bouquets, roses with, I don't know, lemon. This one is lemon mint hexagons, but there's like strawberries in some of them. This one has cucumber lime. This girl's got like multiple drawers just filled with ice. This looks beautiful, but most people do not have space in their freezer for this, nor do they have space in their cabinets for all of those ice trays. If you open my freezer, something is bound to fall out. That thing is stuffed, filled to the brim. And if you live with other people, this just doesn't make any sense. She wasn't even just making ice cubes out of water. She was putting in fruit. She was, I think, even putting in like yogurt to some of them. I saw some like matcha ice, I think. So this is going to get really expensive really fast. This is so much ice. It's really in excess. It's filling her entire freezer. Like, I don't think she has space for any frozen food. Maybe she has a separate freezer for that. I'm not sure. But this is just not real life. Another thing I find kind of comical, honestly, is the fact that she doesn't even like ice in her drinks. She likes room temperature drinks. So during the TikTok ban, if you guys recall a few months ago, influencers were hopping on this trend where they were admitting to things that they lie about. And so she posted this video.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
So she didn't even like ice in her drinks. I just think it's really hilarious that so much of her brand centered around making these fancy ice cubes. The other thing too is I think she got some hate for it because people were like, what the heck, do you just throw all this stuff away? And it's not just frozen water. It's like cucumbers and strawberries and matcha and milk and other things. It just seems incredibly wasteful. So her explanation was that her friends and family used the ice, but honestly, I'm not 100% buying it. Like, imagine having an entire freezer filled to the brim with ice. Like, you would have to consume that so quickly, and things get like freezer burned and they start tasting gross. So these influencers make so many of these videos. It's clearly getting a lot of attention. That one had like 54 million views. Imagine there's a lot of incentive for them to keep making these types of videos. So influencers lie to us all the time. I think we know that now, but I'm more so bothered by the potential waste that was happening behind the scenes. Alrighty, so we're now moving into bathroom self-care restocks. Oh my God, what? She's gonna put all that soap into that glass jar? Who needs all this soap? One bar of soap lasts me like 3 months or more. She says in the description, can never have enough Dove soap. She doesn't say it's an ad, but I'm 100% sure this is an ad.
So it is finally time to re-up on my shower products. A lot of these are pretty much empty or kinda empty. So I'm gonna take the ones that are out and go to the store and get some more. So these are all the new native ones, so I don't have to change out any of these. This one's pretty much empty. This one I know is good. Empty. Yeah, this one's pretty much all gone. Oh yeah, this one's pretty much gone. There's only like a little bit left. These two are pretty much done. These are still good and actually are really full. I bought these not too long ago. Of course, the scrubs are all good. So this is what I'm left with. So come with me and let's go shopping. Decided to go to Target. Here we go. Because I do not have this one. Here we are.
Why is she buying more products if she could just use the ones left in her shower? Oh my God, that is nuts. That wall of products gave me anxiety to look at. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, she's buying so much. Overconsumption at its finest. And she spent $200 on hygiene products. Like, at what point is this just hoarding? My grandma was a hoarder. She didn't hoard bath products, lol, but she hoarded like antiques. And so in her home, she had stacks of stuff and you had to weave your way in. It was pretty insane. So this like clutter gives me anxiety. Hoarding gives me anxiety. I am such a minimalist to my core that walking into my shower and standing next to all of these products would literally make me nauseous. What happened to just using one product up and then going to buy another one, or buy one when it's running out? But buying a bunch of new products when you have like 20 new ones at home is absolute peak insanity to me.
Hey besties, you know what time it is. Help me pick out my shower routine for the day. I have been getting so many requests to do a strawberries and cream routine, and I think that's the one we're gonna do today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. You know the drill. We're gonna start with the Dove Sensitive Skin Beauty Bar. Now I need to pick a body scrub, and I think I'm gonna use the Tree Hut Vanilla for like the cream part of strawberries and cream. So let's go ahead and grab that one. This is one of my favorite Tree Hut scrubs. I have like 10.
That wall of products just made my blood pressure shoot up. That is crazy. People are commenting, hey, so this is insane. Someone else said, you should do Project Pan. Someone else commented, reminder, you're the reason why global warming exists. The creator responded back, that's crazy. I don't know how one single person can cause global warming. Be for real. Yeah, but that type of thinking is problematic because if everybody thinks that way, we are in real trouble. Multiply one person by 7 billion or however many people are in this world. If every person had that kind of apathetic attitude, that would be really scary. And these influencers are literally influencing other people to live this way. And so she's not just living like this quietly, she's broadcasting it to the entire world and encouraging other people, young, probably naive viewers, that they need this in order to be happy. This one is just a hodgepodge of things and rapid fire, so be prepared.
Yo, what up? Let's restock my house. And to be that girl while doing it, cute place for toilet paper. I mean, come on. Scent beads! I'm putting my fruit in a sealed container this time. You guys said it would last longer, so I'm gonna try. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries. Honestly, I never buy these. I just really wanted to.
Great, she never buys them. She just really wanted to buy them for the sake of this video.
Do that. Wow. Flour. I always make the biggest mess. It's not even funny. Chunky Chips Ahoy, microwave them for 10 seconds. Look at this masterpiece. Beautiful. Capri Sun because I'm addicted. Cucumbers and grappes. Now I'm just restocking the lemons for my lemonade bar. Toilet wand refills. That's it for now. Next I gotta restock my beauty room and clean it.
Oh, and the toilet wand refills. Like, just get a toilet brush scrubber that you can replace every few months. You don't need to get a disposable item. So we're getting into the more unhinged ones now. There are purse restocks, and then something that I learned about yesterday is a purse station restock. If you don't know what it is, you will know now. Hang on, did she just put her car key in a little mini purse? That is just like way more work. Ugh, and I hate when they like spray these products as if we can smell them. Like, that's just so wasteful. All of this little plastic junk, these little plastic gadgets that are going to end up in a landfill. And it's like, you don't need to pour out your cream or show us how a lint roller works. Like, I think we know how they work. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right, getting into the purse station restock now. Why do you need like 6 lip balms? Don't you just have one and transfer it between your purses? Oh, and here we go again. They have to open up every item and show us what it is. Like, why do you need 3 hairbrushes and all those nail file things? Oh my goodness, I literally have like one of those. This is just so unnecessary. I'm seeing those tush wipes everywhere, so they must be sponsored. Oh my god, the mini Tic Tacs. I see those in like all of these purse restock videos. They are so wasteful. The top comment says, overconsumption is insane. Yep. Someone else said, you don't need 3 identical brushes. Agree. I'm glad that people are pointing out how ridiculous this is. Most people, if they want to use a different purse a certain day, will just dump out the stuff in their original purse and put it in the new one. It's not rocket science. This is promoting so much overconsumption because it's saying you need to put all of these items into a new purse every time you change purses. You don't. You can reuse the same items many times. And I bet you if you go to her page, you're going to find all of these items in her Amazon storefront. These restocking videos are a great way for brands to get in front of consumers and for influencers to make money through affiliate links and brand deals. Alrighty, since you've made it this far, I have saved the best for last, the Stanley restocks. These get me another level of angry, and you will see why in just a minute. First of all, why do you need 6 Stanley cups? The idea of a reusable cup is that you can use it many times. And the stupid separator in the Stanley cup, like, come on, I think you can survive with 1 drink in there. You don't need 2. Oh my goodness, is that a little purse for her makeup? What is happening? And then she attached it to the edge of the bag. Like, all of that is just going to go flying out. Guys, these videos get millions of views. That video had 15 million views and this one has 4 million. All right, so we're prepping for a hot girl walk, apparently. This is an ad. There is a Celsius drink. It's also tagged in the description. The snack tray is so not practical, and like the Stanley sleeve thing so that it has a little backpack. Why are we playing dress up with our water bottles? There they go again, spraying the products. Okay, and then putting all sorts of snacks into this tray. How is this snack tray thing practical in any way? This is going to go falling right out during your walk. Like, why not have a snack after your walk? One of the comments says, why does your Stanley have a Stanley? I too would like to know. Someone made a good point. I do not even want to carry my phone on a walk. Same. I usually like to walk just with my dog. I don't like to be bothered carrying things on walks, let alone this clunky Stanley with snacks that are about to fall off of it. Has anyone actually seen any of these influencers walking with these Stanley snack trays in the wild? Because I haven't. And I think it's ridiculous. And I think they pack these Stanleys, then sit down and edit this video and don't actually go anywhere with it because this is so impractical. Oh wait, how could I forget? I almost forgot to include the junk drawer restock. Yep, organize and stock the junk drawer with me. First of all, people don't stock their junk drawers. They're junk drawers for a reason. It's where you throw all your extra stuff in that doesn't have a spot to go. Is so much gum and mints. Oh my goodness. I guess if you bought a value pack, but like I can say with absolute confidence that 100% of people's junk drawers do not look like this. That is not a junk drawer. We have completely lost it. Are we okay? Somebody commented, this is like the opposite of a junk drawer, I fear. It is. Somebody else said, stock the junk drawer is a new one. And again, I'm glad people are calling out and realizing the absolute absurdity of all of this.
Overconsumption has been rebranded as cute and organized, but guys, restocking is not a flex. The ability to buy super specific, perfectly labeled containers to hold all of your items that came in a perfectly good container is not something to be proud of. And here's why. This kind of thinking ties your self-worth to your ability to consume both a bunch of plastic crap that will end up in a landfill sooner rather than later, and a bunch of heavily scented, heavily flavored toxic chemicals. I won't deny that these videos are temporarily satisfying, but the idea that decanting your plastic container of fabric softener into a giant glass countertop container will somehow improve your overall quality of life is mistaken. Solid relationships, financial security, your health, and memorable experiences are the formula for a life well lived. Don't be duped into buying all of this landfill-bound crap by all of these hauls and restock videos that are just a disguise for Amazon commercials. Stop solving problems that don't exist.
There you have it. If you hadn't seen these restocking videos yet, you are now up to speed. I just want to reiterate that seeing these videos really pop off on social media is very concerning. These videos are specifically curated and staged to give this illusion that these people's homes look like this all the time. These videos also send a subconscious message to us that what we have isn't enough, and if we want to be happy, we need to restock our homes like this. It's so odd to me to have so many single-use containers in your fridge and just in general in your home. So please don't look at these videos and feel like you don't have enough, because you absolutely do. It's also so weird to me that I came across so many comments on some of these videos where some of these people were getting, some criticism, and people were backing them up to be like, it's their money, they can do whatever they want with it, which is true. They can do whatever they want with their money, but they're an influencer. By definition, their job depends on influencing the public to mirror their behaviors. And this impact of consumption is not felt on an individual level. All of these people's trash and plastic has an effect on the planet. There's consequences to this kind of behavior, and these products don't just appear out of thin air. There's a real human cost to create and sell these products. So if you do consume this content, I encourage you to think about it. Does this content inspire me to be a more organized person, or is this content making me feel like I don't have enough? Thank you guys so much for watching and for bearing through this absurdity today. I think it's super important that we educate each other and see how overconsumption is affecting us. Please let me know what you think of these restock videos. Have you come across the ones that I've seen? Are there any ones that I've missed? The videos are truly getting crazier and crazier as time passes, but if you've made it to the end of this video, please comment below a frog emoji so that I know you watched the whole thing. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.